Hi guys and girls. Today we're going to be talking about atmospheric perspective. And in order to understand what that is, we're going to start by looking at this photograph by Ansel Adams. It's stored with the National Archives. Now, Ansel Adams was an American photographer. He got his first camera when he was 12 years old, and he loved taking photographs of beautiful places on the western part of our country. So places like Yosemite and like this one here, which is of the Grand Canyon. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is how the rocks and the cliffs change as they go further back into the picture. We know that when something is closer, it is bigger. We know that when something is closer, it is lower on the picture, and we're seeing that with our first cliff that you see right there. That big, gigantic rock structure at the very beginning, it's at the lower part of the picture, and it looks larger compared to the things in the background. So we've got those things. Oh, and it's also overlapping the other things. We've already talked about that, and we know a lot about that. What I want you to notice now is how clear the image is. Notice the details that you can see at the front compared to the details that you can see at the back. And now notice the amount of color that is there. So notice how the value changes. Remember, value is when you're going from light to dark within one color. This one is using a lot of grays, and you see that right at the very front, it is full of color. And when we're talking about the amount of color, we're talking about saturation. There is a lot of color being used, and it's a darker color than the colors that are further back. The further back you go, the less color there is in the objects, and the lighter it looks. We're going to try that out today. Now, what's fun is you can make your picture in whatever color you want. You can use reds, blues, yellows, oranges, greens, purples. It really doesn't matter. You just need to have a few different values of that same color. So if you're using blue, you need to be able to have a dark blue and a medium blue and a light blue. A way to make that is by overlapping colors. So if you don't have a medium blue, you can use your dark blue and light blue on top of each other. Okay, so just some tips for you. You can kind of figure it out as you go. The first thing that we're going to need to do is draw our mountain range. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this picture. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and start with my blue, and I'm going to get my darkest blue color. I think I'm going to use this range of colors right here. Actually, I'm going to start with this blue. And I'm going to draw my mountain range that is up close, just like that. Now on an iPad, you have to make sure the edges are completed to fill in the color. You guys will just need to do a lot of coloring. Now I'm going to move to a lighter value of blue. And this one, I kind of want to make it go down, maybe up here, maybe up, like that. That's going to be the second row of mountains. All mountains at that level are the same color, so that way they look like they're going further back. Notice as we work, the further back it goes, the higher up it goes. It doesn't just change value, it also changes where it's at on the page. Now let's find a lighter value of our blue. And I'm going to go ahead and add that one. My mountains become less defined the further back I go. They aren't quite as sharp anymore. They're kind of, they still look mountainous, but I can't really see where the actual mountain peaks are anymore. Okay, now let's move on to our next one. And you can really just keep going as far as you want. using this makes it really easy. And then I'm just going to choose an even lighter blue for my sky. I'm going to use almost white. And I can fill up the rest of my, like that. Now I've got mountains going from dark to light. Okay? Thanks for joining me today.